think. Here we go. We are live, Morningwood Radio, 7:30 a.m. hour, with your host, Hunter McIntyre, and a longtime friend, Matthew Kempson. How are we doing today?
Let's be honest. This is the original.
This is the OG.
This is the original founder of Morningwood Radio. We actually started the first week of COVID, and we recorded it in the backyard, which I thought if we released that content today, it'd be so good.
Didn't we we were like in our underwear and bathrobes sitting in the backyard in wicker chairs. It was like 40 degrees out.
It was amazing, dude.
Yeah.
And you had a back problem. I had to lift you up for some reason because you had like a back cramp.
Oh, I did. I had spasms going on.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you spend all day doing nothing but playing Magic cards and lifting heavy weights, and like there's no work or anything else to be done.
This is the formula to life. Deadlift 500 pounds, get a goblin deck, go to war. Deadlift 500 pounds, get a goblin deck, go to war. Dude, you know what's crazy? We were down training with Team Razzle Dazzle in San Diego, and we finished this workout, and then we did a cool down lap around like the whatever I'd call it, just the strip mall. And there is a gaming there's like a gaming club. And you can come in on Monday, Wednesday, Friday nights and get into Dungeons and Dragons. And then you can also throw $5 in and you compete against these guys in Magic. And I pretty much found my new soulmates.
Did you play?
No, I didn't. I was leaving, but I saw and I stopped. I was like, this is huge.
You know, we talked a lot of big game about starting to go into like Friday night Magics at local like card shops and never followed through on it.
Don't you remember when we tried to do Dungeons and Dragons with Wags, though?
No, it was just me and you.
I know.
And we played rock, paper, scissors for who to be the dungeon master. I got elected to be the dungeon master. And I didn't realize how it's so hard. It's so hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
There's like Harvard, there's engineering school, and then there's being a dungeon master, and it's like it's head and shoulders above the rest. Have you done any of this stuff, Ryan? Have you ever played any of this kind of stuff? Yeah, it's really great to hear from you, Ryan, but you're muted.
There we go. I bought him like a little box to hold the dice in, like a customized box. But you guys know what it's called.
Our dice was serious.
Yeah.
We were always really playing. Oh, my God. Some of the fondest moments of my entire life. I still have a deck of cards in here. Someone came over to my house, and they're like, what's all this Magic about? And I was like, you wouldn't understand. Like, you don't
Dude, I just taught my fiance to play last week. She loves it. She's good, too.
Let's give everybody the update. Since we've seen each other, since we were roommates, you moved back to the East Coast, started building yourself a home. You're now no longer Rocky Mountain Kempson. You're the Pirate of Jersey. I literally have seen you dress up like a pirate like a half a dozen times since you've been back there. So I think
it all started on our 30th birthday party, or I guess it was your 31st. We had that pirate party, and since then I just I have this Tupperware box in my closet that I just accumulate more pirate clothes every year, and I come up with if I have a party, I'm just like, I'm gonna call it a pirate party, and then I make everybody dress up like pirates, and then for my birthday, and then actually I had Danielle and I this year for Halloween. It actually wasn't even Halloween; it was a week before Halloween. She's like, "What do you want to do tonight?" I was like, well, why don't we dress up like pirates and we take my my dinghy? It's my little like mini rowboat. We take the rowboat and go bar hopping with it. And she's like, that doesn't sound like fun at all. Seriously, didn't sound like fun at all. And then we did. We dressed up like pirates and we had a fucking blast.
Who would not think that was fun?
I know.
It's one of those kind of things you sell your soul to the devil. You're like, where do I sign? This is perfect. So, dude, I'm now the last of the Mohegans. I'm Daniel Day-Lewis. I'm the last Indian dude roaming around in the woods. You guys have all left me behind. You're engaged. Cole's engaged. This is a crock of bullshit. We didn't have a conversation about this. We didn't all just say, hey.
Cole and I had the conversation at the Go-Ruck games last year.
He actually did tell me this.
Yeah, we found ourselves running side by side. It was a 50-pound pack for 12 miles. And we just got to the point where fuck it, let's just run with each other for the rest of this thing. And we were talking, and he was like, "Hey man, I got something to tell you. I got a ring. I'm gonna propose to to Abby, my girlfriend." And I was like, "That's funny, because I'm actually looking at rings right now, and I'm gonna propose to Danielle at some point." And we kept this little secret between the two of us for a while.
Aww.
What the fuck, man?
Dude, you were one of the only ones that showed the ring to, so I don't know. What the fuck do
I'm
you
just
want?
kidding. I'm just kidding around. It's crazy though, dude. It is so insane to me.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally every other week I'm getting a phone call from somebody being like, dude, I got engaged or I'm getting married or I'm having a kid, and it's just I still feel like we are in Durango. I still feel like I'm living on an air mattress and we're like having
Well,
rocks, paper, scissors,
to be
shoot
fair, though,
matches.
you actually are living on a air mattress down in the
Dude.
San Diego area when
Dude.
you're paddling.
What do you think I'm living? I have a mattress on the floor. I have hot water, and that's about it. Like my house
We're
is,
basically the same people. We just have rings on our fingers now.
yeah, literally. So I've spent the last, actually, I closed on the house about a year ago. So I spent the last year working on this house. I'm finally to the point where it's like, it's almost move-in ready. I'm already moved in, but like I've literally been sleeping with like a sleeping bag on the floor.
Do you
No
think that will
shower.
change now that you're married? Are you
No,
gonna get into a bed or like how does
no,
that
dude.
work?
Do you know what a bucket shower is?
No, I'm assuming it's
I
like bathtub gin though. Same
Yeah. I
same thing.
developed this method last summer. I was helping my brother work on his house. He didn't have any running water, so you fill up a bucket with water. If you can get hot water, that's awesome. But if not, you just fill up a bucket with water. And you just go outside. And you kind of like soap yourself down, and then
It's
you
pretty
just dump
basic math.
you just dump the water on yourself. I taught Danielle how to take one the other day, and once again, she was super opposed to it. And then
Now
as
she's
soon as she took
obsessed.
one, dude, it started snowing outside while we were taking a bucket shower. And she's like, "This is so cool. This is the best." I'm like, "I know. Why would you ever want a real shower? Life is so much better like this."
I just what I do is I avoid all of it. I only use pools to shower.
That works too.
No soap necessary. I
And
have
you
like
don't
a loofah
brush your
inside this
teeth.
bathroom that has got like zero action over the past year.
Where are you at right now? Are you in Malibu?
This is the boo.
Because you say you're having a hard time keeping track of me, but I see you're in Malibu, then you're in San Diego, Colorado for a little bit. Then you come to New York, but you never see me.
You're not in New York, dude. You're across like the English Channel in Jersey.
But it's like 5 miles.
I know. I got to do a better job. I actually just haven't gone home to the East Coast as much as I used to. My family still is such a big believer in COVID. It's almost startling. It's my dad. Yeah. So, dude, I'll give you this. My dad, my grandfather, my dad's dad is turning 93 this weekend. They're so startled by COVID that they're driving from Connecticut to Michigan.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
They won't fly.
And when we were home for Thanksgiving, one of my aunts like tested positive for COVID, and everybody treated her like a leper. They're like, "Cast ye out, leave. We shan't see you forever. You die on your own."
Like 3 months ago.
Oh yeah, dude. It was one of the worst Thanksgivings I've ever had. It was so crazy. So I live in California where we lied to each other about COVID. No, I'm just kidding. Like it's a totally different world, and I can't even have this level of transparency with my family. Like I tell my dad, I was like, "Hey, like if you want," I was like, "I'll just buy you a ticket to come out here and visit me. Just don't tell Pat." And Pat's and like my stepmom is right next to him. She's like, "I heard that," and like I can't do any of that. So
is your dad like on the same level as you, and it's just like your stepmom, or is it?
I think behind
he's just
closed
playing
doors,
along?
yeah, behind closed doors he is.
Like, how
But
can
then
they
he
not?
has to. He's almost like an imperial spy. Like he wants to sympathize with the rebellion. He's like, I understand what you guys are doing right, but like I'm the right hand man of Darth Vader. And he's like, he's still wearing the outfit, and he's like, yeah, Darth, we'll kill all of them. And then he like talks to me. He's like, I love you. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. It feels like that at times. It does.
So,
And it's
your stepmom's Darth Vader.
yeah. And there's just layers of it amongst the family. So I think like I'll admit, like I'm not trying to say "woe is me" kind of thing, but that's why you remember I used to go to the East Coast like 10 times plus a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I never fly anymore. I just live in my little bubble, and I guess like my current what the fuck is that?
Yeah, that's loud. Yeah.
Oh, I think a pipe just burst in your house, dude.
No, Danielle's actually making me breakfast right now because she's a fantastic woman. But the paper bag she opened is like the noisiest thing in the world.
I honestly thought when your pipes burst, I was like, Kempson doesn't know. Yeah, I mean, dude, yeah, the Bermuda Triangle is San Diego, Crestline, and Malibu right now. And I'll admit, like, San Diego for me is pretty difficult because I'm living in what I call Boys Town. It's just like a bunch of young boys living in this house. Like, they don't know how to take out the trash.
But how would you compare that to all the training camps that we've ever had?
You know what's interesting is when everybody is in that state of mind, it's incredible. But like, I'll admit, I have grown. You know me, dude. I'm a bit bougie. Like, I've kind of grown a little bit out. Like, if we all decided that we were just going to go live in the woods like vagabonds, I would like almost lobotomize myself, take a chunk out of my brain, and let go of that part of my life, and just be like, we're living in the woods now.
Yeah, but you're like the bougie kind that will like sleep on a Walmart air mattress with like a Pixar Cars blanket, and then buy like $70 lamb steaks for lunch every day.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I was sitting down with the guys yesterday. We went to a steakhouse to watch the football game, and I was just like, so he's like, so do you eat a lot of steak? And I was like, yeah, I do now, but when we were younger, I was so poor, like I couldn't afford steak. We could afford beef chuck. But now, yeah, I live a little bit of a bougier life. But like, I'll admit, like the bed that I'm living in, my feet hang off by about 6 to 12 inches. It's that small. It's crazy. And it's so crazy. Like this house, it doesn't seem junky, but the doorknob was so junky that I got locked into my room, and my roommates had to break the doorknob off. So I just don't have a doorknob now. So literally, you can peep into my room at any time. It works as a glory hole and a peephole.
I'm gonna try turning my these headphones off and just going on speakerphone.
Yeah.
Here.
Why are you losing audio with us? Barely.
You sound very far away. Now we have an echo.
Yeah, I'd go back to those headphones. Those were rad.
I think it's one of those things that's like good for you, not so good.
Why you can't hear us? What do you want to know?
How about now?
Now it sounds great.
Yeah.
Wow, modern technology, amazing.
So I'm convinced that everybody in the world knows who you are in this circle, but I think it's really cool to go back to where you were to where you are now and to what our next big mission is going to be. So just give some people some history. We're talking to Rocky Mountain Kempson, one of the OGs of the obstacle course racing world.
God.
You've been literally racing at a championship level in obstacle course racing, TMX, tactical games, all these different iterations of yourself. And for what, what did you start, 2013?
I think it was like 2013. Yeah, so 9 years. A long ass time. And it's like gone through this whole evolution of being like 100% in the mud run game. And like when we were living out in Durango and everything. And then kind of getting to the more strength stuff, TMX, HYROX came along, all sorts of other little events. And then
the natural arc of being a man.
The natural arc of being a man, exactly. And then about 2 years ago, I got introduced by, I think through Rob Killian did a tactical games event, which was shooting. And that just really piqued my interest. So I threw all my chips in on that. I took, basically pulled out of every other event and went in on that for a season. Was really awesome. And then basically had some pretty tumultuous stuff go on in my life. And then I bought this house, which ended up being way more work than I anticipated. So I thought it was going to be like a 6-month project. I'd be done, back to competing. And it took about a year. I'm like now to the point where I'm finally like, I'm still working on it, but like I can be training full time and like really dedicate myself to fitness again too.
I have so many layers of questions I want to ask you. Real depth.
Yeah.
One, I think because everyone's a fitness fanatic here, what do you feel was in your arc of training and competing was the fittest version of yourself of all the eras? I'm talking about starting out in like obstacle course racing, then probably like, going into Battle Frog, which is still obstacle racing, then into TMX, then into, you did some kind of HYROX stuff. Now you're into tactical games. If you could pick the avatar, like you're playing the video game of yourself and had all the different character versions of yourself, which one do you think is the superstar?
I mean, I think it would depend on the day. Like
You can pick one, dude. You got to go through life and you're taking on all of your challenges with one version of yourself.
I mean, the one that I like even like right now, I'm more fit in some ways that I've been like for other events, but like probably TMX, honestly, because it just something about the training style for that, how it was like, it was heavy, but not like stupidly heavy that you have to be like a straight up strongman athlete. And then the running was like it was very running intensive, right? Half the event was running, but it wasn't like a big mountain race. So you weren't going to get down like, skinny John Albin Twigs, status. Like it just was a really good balance of everything. And you just felt strong. You felt fast, like all around is definitely my favorite.
So now that you see that version of yourself, like I'm kind of there now, and I think about this all the time. Do you like, what do you think you're gonna do when you retire? Like, do you think that you're gonna be this guy who just like sits in the gym and just does like kettlebells and like push-ups and running? Or do you think you're just gonna give up on everything and just become like that burly dude that just kind of does construction and like cuts up trees all day long? Because I can't tell.
Honestly, I think for people like us, like I think competition is just in our blood, and I don't know why or how it got there. Like not my family, like my mom and dad weren't like super big athletes or anything, but it's just like between me and my brother, it's like in our blood, and I don't think that can ever like not compete in one facet or the other. I think I'm definitely having to get a little bit smarter at like the type of events I pick. Like I'm not going to pick something that I know is going to destroy my body.
Don't ever do an Ironman.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not like like even HYROX. Like honestly, I like that event. It's a lot of fun, but like the training that it takes to be really good at that is a lot of volume and a lot of strength at the same time, which is just a recipe for like fast aging. Like you see some of those guys who are like they're like a 35-year-old mountain runner and their face looks like they're like 70 years old.
Matt Novakovic.
That's exactly who I had in mind.
Like a ball sack with feet.
Exactly. So trying to avoid those type of, becoming that type of athlete or anything. But I think it's just like bred like into us that we have to compete in one way or another. So I mean, I don't really plan on. I've honestly like between this circle right here, I've tried to stop. Like I tried about a year ago to kind of pull the plug and be like, that's it. Like I'm moving on to like the next phase in life, and I made it like I don't know 6 weeks, and was like I need this. Like life just it keeps you alive. I don't know. There's something about like having competition coming up, like whether, no matter what it is, it just like really keeps you young and keeps you from getting old and just dying.
Dude, I spent the last 6 months after HYROX World Championships until Ironman, and I can't even really consider Ironman to be this thing that I trained for because I was so unfocused.
Yeah.
I literally from May to June, July, August, September, October, like almost 6 months, I did nothing with focus. And it was probably the most challenging mental time of my more recent history. And
Yeah.
it's just like one of these kind of things where you can't pinpoint it. You're not like, I'm like all miserable and angry. You're not like sitting there being like really depressed, but you're just kind of aimless. You like wake up in the morning. You're like, what should I do right now?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
right now, yeah, go ahead.
I would say I stopped. It was actually after the Tactical Games Championship last year, and that event was by far harder than any other like obstacle, style event that we've ever done. And I was wrecked for like 2 weeks after. And I told myself I wasn't going to train. I was going to do nothing for 3 months, right? Just like rest, let the body heal. And I started getting into jujitsu.
How's
And
that,
then
dude? How's the martial arts thing? Is it as fulfilling as I think it is, or is it just like
it
is it
is
proximity?
no, it really is. And it helps. Like I said, like my fiance's family is like really heavily into it. Um,
I want to fight Danielle's dad.
yeah, good luck, honestly.
I just want to get this off my chest. Let's do this, you fuck.
But I think one of the frustrating things, like for that, not frustrating, but like interesting things I found with that is like I'm pretty used to being able to like pick anything up and like get to a fairly high level, especially something that's like fitness oriented, which I think that like that kind of stuff is like, you know, if you have a good gas tank, like it goes a long way, especially if you're like generally athletic. But like realizing how quickly like I used to watch like the UFC, right? And I'd watch these guys fight, and I'm like, all right, these are just tough motherfuckers that like, you know, learn to like throw a couple punches and wrestle or whatever. But like now, kind of realizing that like there's like those guys you see on TV have been training this for the most part since they're like 4 years old, right? They like are beyond experts in their and masters of like their craft. And then when you get in the gym and you like try to go and wrestle against, you know, even someone who's been doing it for 5 or like God forbid 10 years, like there's just so much experience and skill that it's very frustrating if you're new to it.
So would you say, like, right now, if I came in there and I started taking karate classes at the local kid shack, that I could come and I could take these dudes out?
Honestly, I get my ass whooped by 13 to 15-year-olds. Actually, yeah, 13 to 50-year-olds. But especially the young kids on a regular basis. They're just so quick, and
they're quick, and they also they're not scared.
No,
we've been around long enough to know when you get like a decent injury, what comes with that pain and how long it lasts.
Yeah. So I mean, there's like a fearlessness and just like a disregard for bodily harm that they have, as well as like a flexibility and like a way of moving that only like a freaking 13-year-old can do.
Just limber motherfuckers,
especially the girls. Watch out for them.
Yeah, dude. My cousin Alex, the guy who does all of our video content, he's my age, so 33, and this dude is still rollerblading like 15-year-olds do. Yeah, a madman, and he throws his body into these things, and he comes home, and there's literally like tumor-sized lumps on his legs.
Wait, throws his body into what?
Dude, he'll like
jumps. He's half piping.
Jumps.
Oh, he's like doing like park rollerblading.
Big park, dude. Big street stuff, too. Dude. Like he'll jump.
I'm thinking of like the guys that like carry a speaker and like rollerblade around on the boardwalk and like dance and shit.
No, dude, this guy is full blown insane.
What?
You know what's crazy is I used to film him when we were younger. Now he films me because he was so into like skating. We would just leave the house in the middle of the night and drive into downtown Detroit, and we go to these crazy, you know, whatever it is, banks, big buildings and stuff. And you'd go to these stair sets that are, you know, 50 to 100 feet long, and he would jump either half the stair set and then get onto the railing for the second chunk, or do the whole railing.
On rollerblades or a skateboard?
On rollerblades.
Rollerblades.
Dude, he was insane. We have a video of us driving a Suburban. I'm driving it, and there's a ramp that's like kind of like it's like a slanted ramp, and there's like a 10-foot chain link fence, and he hits it so hard he's able to go up over the chain link fence and launch like another 20 to 30 feet.
Dude, send me some links for this. I want to check this stuff out.
Dude, he's a savage. And I don't know how he still does it to himself, because he's like breaking his body continuously. Wow. It's one of the kind of things where he will be in a wheelchair at some point in time.
Hey, use it up, man. Use it like
I like ride my bike, and sometimes like I'll be mountain biking and my leg will unclip out of the bike and I'll like scrape my shin. I'll be like, ooh, and I'll take a whole week off. Whole week. Dude,
I got a question for you. Along with all this fitness and everything, you also do kind of steelwork design, don't you? Welding, because I have I got a chin-up bar, pull-up bar in my garage designed by you.
No way.
Yes, sir.
Dude, that's an original. Holy shit.
It was hey, my buddy's really good at making all these different types of devices. Sign up on his website and get a. I think it was like a 4th of July sale chin-up bar. So I did.
That was, talk about like an arc. That's how it all started. I was like, we were living out in Durango. I had always like built things for like my buddies. Like Hunter needed like this, like whip him up something. Kent needed something, I whip him up something. And then I started selling those pull-up bars at the beginning of COVID. It went from like pull-up bars to I started building obstacles for Spartan, and then DecaFit, and then Obstacle Racing World Champs.
Dude,
and
it is solid.
Of course it's solid.
I really want Kempson.
There's no pull or no, like I've looked at other, like the Rogue one, and I was like, okay, let's support local, and then I got it installed, and no problems with it.
Dude, Good. You should call that the K-Dog bar and start making them again.
I know.
Dude, I want Matt, like selfishly, I want Matt to get into this business. I really would have so much fun.
You push all the time.
Dude, think about it. I know you got your house going on. You got a fiance now. Like, you clearly are doing things that are spectacular, and you're going in the direction of life that most of us would want. But dude, if you had stuck with it from when we had got that thing, you got that thing started, but like when the whole iteration of the idea started and started to come out, dude, you literally would have been 3 years now, and I bet you'd be pumping out hundreds of units.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
There's no thing holding you back right now that you couldn't jump back into making those things.
If you can get enough people like wanting the pull-up bars and whatnot, we'll have a discussion.
I'll write your first review.
Perfect. All right.
Dude, there's so many cool things that you can use in the gym. Like now, really, like I look at my gym. I have this humongous gym over here, and you got all the skiers, the rowers, the bikes. You got the squat rack, the pull-up bar, like every single thing. In reality, dude, I use a pull-up bar, I use my tonal, and I use like one cardio device. And like literally, like I'm just trying to make things way more compact and like efficient. And I think that honestly, dude, you could make a couple additions to someone's home that like has that kind of like a micro setup and make it just through the roof.
Honestly, I've like, because I've been working on this house for the last year, right? I've had like I haven't really had a gym. I haven't had a home gym. I've had like a spot of concrete on my property that I could work out on. And basically kettlebells and like 2 kettlebells, a heavy sandbag, a pull-up bar, and that's really it. Like I'd say I've done like 90% of the work, like fitness and workouts I've done the last year have been with those like tools alone.
Dude, you should make a badass pulley system that can like attach in anywhere in your house if you're a bro. And all these things like kettlebells and stuff can just attach to it super easily. So let's just say you stick 2 kettlebells to it. Now you're doing tricep press downs. You turn it, like you somehow change the points. And now if you could just screw into the wall like 4 pulley points, so there's anchor points. And now all of a sudden you're able to do bicep curls. You're able to do rows and put your feet against the door. Dude, that would be every bro's dream.
You know what I would really love to see? All the things that the whole contraption you described, I would like to see your first draft creation of it, what it would look like.
Right now,
there'd be like crayon marks on the wall everywhere.
Russell Crowe, A Beautiful Mind? That's what's happening in my brain right now. It's like all these ideas. Like, it's like perfect.
Clothes hangers bent in all different directions, like toilet paper rolls.
And I'm that sick in the head that I'm like talking to all these friends of mine that aren't really there, being like, yeah, Hunter, you're doing great. You come in and it's just like aluminum foil and like different broken hangers and stuff and some shoestrings and stuff and a kettlebell on the floor. I'm like, it's done. It's a masterpiece.
You'd have the setup of Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Exactly.
Dude, did you guys ever have your dad or anybody in your family have a Total Body 1000?
No.
No,
is that like a Bowflex?
We had the OG bow, really blank.
But that's a punching thing. The Total Body 1000.
We had the VHS workout DVDs.
The Total Body 1000 was like, it was basically had this. It was like a bench that was on like a sliding, like a sliding slat, and you could pull things, and you could do like this and this, and it would move. It would use your body weight, and based on the like it was on an angle like this and like this. So based on the height of it, it would increase the resistance.
That's the Walker Texas Ranger.
Yeah, I bet you. If I had to guess, Chuck Norris probably used the shit out of it.
Device where he sits there and then he's on an incline. He's doing bicep curls.
I like Hunter. I like having Ryan in here because he's like the voice of reason, and he actually like has some good facts and stuff to bring into the conversation.
This is the most Ryan's talked in a while. Ryan, you need to step in more often when we're having these conversations so that we can have a voice of reason.
All right, I like listening to the host.
When you listen to Joe Rogan, he's got that assistant Jamie.
Yeah,
that was always like, Jamie, pull up this and this information. But like Ryan's got a spine and like brings his own opinion into things too.
Yeah, poor Jamie. Poor Jamie. We give Ryan a lot more room to breathe on this show.
Hey, I do have it pulled up. I just sent you the Alex clip where he's clearing some serious air.
Let's see this. Let's see this.
All right.
Wait, do you have a way of putting it on the screen so we can all see it?
Yeah, yes, I do, sir.
Oh my God, dude, this is
have so much. This is why I'm telling you, dude. I think you need to come back for a regular spot on this thing because honestly, dude, you're missing out on the power and potential that we have at this point.
If we were, hypothetically speaking here, if we were to have another Morningwood radio episode hosted by me and you, what subject would we talk about for the first one?
Best breakfast in the entire world.
Dude, that's the same as cereal. That's the same as the cereal one.
No. It's very different, dude. Because now I've graduated way beyond cereal, dude.
All right. Okay. You want to get into that subject? I will destroy you.
What would you say? Just give me right now.
I'm telling you right now, and it's total. You're not going to understand this at first until you try it. All right. So it's homemade hummus or tahina, which are kind of similar. I don't really understand the difference between them either.
Tahini, you mean, or tahina?
They call it tahina.
It's tahini.
Beets, roast, pickled beets, pickled red beets, and over easy eggs. The three of those things together.
Corned beef hash. The answer is corned
beef
hash.
Corned
beef hash, dude. I just took your story and I just knocked it all the way down.
All right. That's probably the only thing that you could come up with that even holds
dude. So Dude, check this one out. This is Alex doing a backflip on the half pipe. He's a sick and twisted dude.
Oh, my God.
Do you see that, dude? His butthole hit the bar. Look at this. Pause it on his beehole. Can you pause it right now? Pause.
That's not even a big half pipe.
Right there. Wait, one more time. Oh!
There he is.
Wow.
Boom.
Dude, that is crazy.
And then he goes into...
We were talking about this. Scroll up a little bit higher and you can see some of the crazier stuff. Like this one's insane, dude. He jumps an entire ramp over onto this thing, and I think he does a porn star. No, that's not a porn star.
He's got like 20 angles on that one. He messed up. He didn't land it. That was like the third time that he tried it, but he got it on this one. It's crazy.
Dude, we were talking about like the worst pain and like most vulnerable we had ever felt just earlier, and I was talking about I had a skateboard deck and I was practicing kickflips downstairs, and the deck literally came up and like it went vertical and spiked me right in the gooch.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably that was the most vulnerable I've ever been.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah. So I'm just letting you know right now, I feel like I've got a point on the board when it comes to breakfast debating.
That's good. But I'm telling you, I'm going to make this for you. I can't really make it, but I'll bring it for you. And you're going to be pretty mind blown. Remember when you had you were vegan or whatever, and you just ate hummus and carrots all the time?
I did.
You love hummus.
I'm not saying hummus is bad. I just like it. We were
trying to say it doesn't belong at the breakfast table. I know what you're trying to say.
Hummus is an appetizer that you eat on breakfast or excuse me, lunch or dinner.
Let's just Google. Ryan, would you mind Googling what is hummus? Is hummus a breakfast food? Just try that out.
Dude, just because it doesn't show up on Google doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Now, is this because something
hummus is made out of? We just don't know if it's a breakfast food, a lunch food, or a dinner food.
Is this something that Danielle brought into your life, or is this something that was a self-discovery?
No, absolutely. And I came in I came in very extremely skeptical. And I was like, this doesn't belong here, just like you guys are doing right now.
I think that's the true role of a woman, is to be able to soften a man enough to get out of his own rigid ways to explore the world a little bit differently. Let their guard down a little bit. Because if you try to bring anything to me in the morning besides corned beef hash, you get cut.
I'd say I'm like an oatmeal guy, right? Like 2 packets of that. What's it called? The
Do you see
Quaker?
This combat hatchet? This is for anybody who tries to bring anything but corned beef hash to my house. Look at this. It says snacks during the day, not breakfast.
Wow, they really put that in bold too, huh? During the day.
Yeah, see?
Kempson, are you trying to justify that you should eat it for breakfast?
Yeah.
I think he's just saying it's a bold possibility.
I mean,
I used to hate beets. I love beets. They're like my favorite thing now.
So let's talk about what's coming up next for you. Do you want to talk about your life first, or do you want to talk about what we've got coming up? I'll let you take the role.
I'll segue into what we've got coming up. But the hard thing on my schedule right now, like the one set date I have, is GoRuck Games 2023. We did that event last year. You were part of it. It was super cool. I just love supporting any event that comes in, and it's just like
it's not Spartan Race.
Is not Spartan Race, and just has some balls. Like I'm to that point in life where like I don't really have time for people and events that have no balls.
Does that mean you're going to support Battle Bunker and participate this year?
I might.
That's a soft M. I like capital M's.
I know, but we're going to start.
I don't think that you're at a level enough to compete with the Battle Bunker boys.
Yeah, what's going on, dude?
Wow, I think Ryan, your connection's breaking up. I think there's something wrong with your Wi-Fi or something.
Do you not feel like you're battle? Do you not feel like you're battle ready? Because it's okay if you're not battle ready. Tactical games is kind of JV when it comes to the battle stuff. This is that next level.
Dude, I think you'd be absolutely mind-boggled at some of these guys that are at the top level with tactical games, because they're like deceiving. They're like, some of them have like not full,
just like the Navy SEAL guys when we compete against them TMX. Those guys were full throttle
savages, and it's like, and half these guys, they're elite level SWAT or ex special forces, but like the kind of special forces that like they don't even tell you they were special forces. They're like, oh, what did you do? They're like, I worked for the government. like what the fuck do you mean you work for the government? Like,
you try to kill rats and gophers in your house? That's what I do with people.
Yeah, exactly. These are the guys that like SEAL Team 6 would be assigned to escort to somewhere to do something so bad that even they weren't allowed to know what this guy was about to do. Those were like those are the kind of guys that like you have in this thing.
It's like Chris from Evolution Athletics.
So it's just like you're running a GoRuck, but instead of carrying sandbags, you're carrying a gun with you. So you get done with an obstacle, and then you got like a shooting.
Well, you're carrying sand. Dude, they have 300-pound sandbags in this thing.
Okay.
And then plus you've got a ruck on with a lot of times you have a weight vest. You have like a full kit with a rifle and a pistol. Yeah, dude, it's everything.
But then are you shooting targets in the middle of carrying all this stuff?
Yeah, and it's everything from, dude, like we're shooting targets out to 400 yards, as well as like super like fast-paced Wild West stuff where you're like, running through a stage and you're like pop, 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 reload, pop, 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 and then like run to the next one. Like it's all facets of shooting and fitness.
Dude, I can proudly say, and Hepner can attest to this, I used to go back to his farm back in like the 2015, 16, 17s, and 18s. I used to whoop his ass in our little versions of tactical game stuff.
Now, are you using Nerf guns and saying
that we were using real pistols, dude. Like I remember we had to do like 100-pound sandbag to the shoulder, carry upbound, hit 2 targets. Then the next one to hit 2 targets. And the next one to hit 2 targets. So it was like only 8 shots, but your points, it was time done and points based on the hits you got. We had some good times.
Yeah. I'm going to keep this focus here because I remember we were trying to sum up what do you have going on.
Tell us what you're up to.
So GoRuck Games got a couple other possibilities on the schedule, including your Battle Bunker business. And then recently we just found out about this, the Gov Games, which is like the biggest curveball from left field you could possibly imagine. But super excited about it.
The Dove Games with a D or
Gov? G-O-V.
Government
games.
Hunter, have you talked about this at all?
No, we haven't talked about it at all. I don't even know if we're allowed to talk about it, but at the same time, we at the end can just pull this episode down.
Yeah. It's actually something that we had a team together for back in 2020, and we were all stoked on it. We like all had done all our homework. We were preparing. We attempted to have. Remember when we tried to have the team all come together and like have a training weekend?
Yep.
And then and that like
it fell apart immediately because of COVID. But basically, Government Games reached out to Ras, who's kind of like our team founder, and built a team. Then he reached out to me. Then I reached out to Kempson. I started putting together a superhero team. We got Cold Daddy too. I mean, dude, if the apocalypse hit, you'd probably want to phone immediately Kempson, Cold Daddy, and I. You'd be like, hey, we need you to save the world.
Is this the same group that was on Strike Force?
That was on Strike Force? Are you talking about the A team?
Yeah, your little group that you would shout out Strike Force as you went through
This is the original Strike Force.
This is the original Strike Force, which to this day freaks me out so much because of what happened with that grocery store, which we probably don't need to go into deep detail about.
Yeah.
R.I.P. But we're building this thing, and our name is called Team Razzle Dazzle because Rasmus's name is Raz, so he brings the razzle, and then we bring the dazzle.
Okay.
And we've also this is why I'm growing out my facial hair. We're all going to have mustaches. And I'm talking about like thick porn star Burt Reynolds mustaches or Tom Selleck. I don't think I could pull off either of those mustaches, to be honest, but they're going to be thick.
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott. What is it? What is it going on? Like my hair stops right here. So I only got this like thin line.
I thought you shaved it like that.
No, dude, this is.
Well, that's like a Ricky Ricardo thing. That has a style in itself. Keep that.
Yeah, it is. It's nice. It's really nice. All right, so you really ready? Because you said you haven't shaved since 3 years ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've shaved, obviously, but like I haven't, my lip has not been exposed in 2 years, 3 years. Since I lived with you.
Are you ready to take this all down just to a mustache?
Yeah, I did it. I did it last spring. I had the full mustache going.
Yeah.
I prefer it like that, honestly.
But what does D say?
I surprised her for the first time with the mustache, and she came in, she like hit me. She's like, I can't believe, but I like the mustache on you. I didn't think I'd like it, but I like it.
Was it open hand or closed?
Open hand. No, if she wanted to inflict, knockout power on me, she would. I mean, it'd be lights out, but she would do it with a kick. She wouldn't punch.
You said her family's all into jiu-jitsu. Is she part of that as well? She's been
absolutely. She's a black belt.
Wow.
She's a black belt and a very good kickboxer. And yeah, I mean, I can hold my own because I can scrap, but beyond that, technically, she would beat me into the dirt.
What is that like in the household? Who's the more competitive person?
So I didn't really get a chance to introduce Danielle, but she's was and is a pro soccer player. She actually played at UConn, where we both went to school, and then played for.
Were you at school at the same time?
Yeah, we both went to UConn. Exactly. I ski raced and she played soccer. We keep trying to figure out if we crossed paths. We must have. There's no way we didn't. She rode a moped around. I rode my motorcycle around. We had to have crossed paths.
How big is UConn though?
Not that.
Is UConn one of these?
A square mile.
One of these Is UConn one of these universities though that it's there's sections that you've never even been to in your college career there? Because there was parts of the university that a small school I never went to.
Dude, you're from Connecticut.
I never went to UConn ever.
Really? Oh my God, it's a blast. But no, it's like a square mile. It's not that
UConn's
big.
in Hartford, isn't it?
Total. No, UConn's in the middle of farm country, in the middle of stores, in the middle of nowhere, dude. It's 45 minutes from Hartford.
I mean, it's not small. The student undergraduate total enrollment's 18,500. That was fall.
But think about this: take 18,000 people, and then take You know what? When you like you're flying in a plane, you look down, you see all the it's just farm country with all like the crop circles and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like just take 18,000 people and put them on a square mile plot in the middle of one of those like areas. Like
Okay.
it becomes really small, really fast, right? Like it's not like there's a city around and everybody kind of gets dispersed in the city and like housing is integrated with like where local people live. Like no, it's like if you're within like a 20-mile radius, there's nothing within a 20-mile
You're
radius of
going
the
to
school
UConn.
except for, yeah, exactly. Everybody there. It's very small.
So you guys graduated, same class.
Mhm.
This is crazy.
We both were super seniors. We both took a little extra, a little bonus year.
Sorry, I never graduated, so.
Yeah, but no, she's ultra competitive. And we wrestle a lot, like literally getting out of like this morning, getting out of bed. Like she was like trying to not let me get out of bed, and like she'll like pull like a jiu-jitsu move on me and like hold it, and then like I end up getting like a little bit, and it gets a little more aggressive, and the next thing you know, we're full blown like training.
Someone's missing a tooth.
Somebody's missing a tooth. I'm like, I will admit, I'm not the smoothest or the gentlest. So like it usually ends up in like me getting scolded for like, I don't know, I stepped on somebody's hair or like, need them in the groin or something like that. But I'm
I know
working
you.
on it.
I know you play dirty. You also
That's
just
what you
play
gotta
dirty
do.
magic. Yeah.
That's
So
a lie. That's a lie. It's a dirty lie.
It wasn't taught.
you're a dirty magic player. So what can we expect to see over the next couple months? Because like when are you showing up here for training camp? Let's get some calendar dates.
So I'm coming out in, I believe it's the 17th. We going to Malibu or San Diego?
Are you catching a red eye?
I'm gonna take whatever it takes to get there.
Of March or February?
February.
There's
No,
a couple options
February.
here.
Yeah.
You could fly into LA. And I just talked to my friends yesterday. These are like the #1 parkour athletes in the world. Like I'll get them to do a private training camp for us to teach us like how to get on and off bars and up and off walls as well as possible. So I'm guessing we're going to do 2 days there and then we're going to do 2 days in San Diego. So
before we get into this, let's first kind of like this Gov Games event is going to be like an American Ninja Warrior / obstacle race / I don't know, escape room type thing, right?
Escape room / strongman type challenges.
Exactly. So we've got a team of 6 guys, and we're all we're going over there March 2nd through 5th to compete. We're all going to get together. You guys have been already trained together, but we're going to get the whole team together at the beginning or middle of February, and for like an intense training camp where we're just going to like really hammer down all these types of things. We're going to go to LA. You said we're going to get these parkour guys to give us lessons. What else?
Well, I was hoping that we could do land, sea, and sky type thing. I was hoping that we could basically go Malibu, cabin, then San Diego. But I don't know if we'll have enough time while you're here. But basically, we want to try to get all aspects of training in here because in reality, like it is all about cohesiveness and ability to. So we're getting all of our team like really, really polished up on the obstacles. Like obviously, we own the obstacle course down for Battle Bunker. We're doing all the other versions of it. I literally am like, I feel like I'm an obstacle course racer again. I'm literally training obstacles like 4 or 5 days a week, which is nuts. From what I understand, like there's obviously the conditioning part. Like a couple of years ago, I remember like watching them. They did, Zwift.
Yeah.
They did a Zwift race in all these teams. So it's like you have to have a tremendously good engine. And you also have to have like, I think the reason why you're very valuable is because your problem solving skills, like it doesn't matter if you're the fittest person. Like if you're just left behind in these problem solving abilities, you're gonna be shot to shit. And then also like as we learned, like I don't remember if you were there for Spartan Ultimate Team Challenge, but I competed with these people that were clearly not the most physical people. They were in their 40s. We made it to finals because we were just such a cohesive body. And we were up against teams that were so much better than us, and we always just continued to win. So I think that's our main goal.
So I was at that event too, and they paired me up with professional stunt doubles.
Yeah.
Who for that kind of event, that's like what these guys do. They're like pro parkour guys that there's no money in parkour, so they started to become stunt doubles. So they're like the best trained people for this event. Like I hit the jackpot with my team. But like, no offense to your California people, but they were like your typical like California bros that just didn't give a shit about anybody else. and made it nearly impossible to work with. Like the amount of ego on that team was enough to fill up a oil tanker. It was absurd. And because of that, we had probably the most talented team, and we got knocked out in like the quarterfinals. We didn't stand a shot because I couldn't get these guys to work together. I tried so hard.
Yeah. It was incredible to watch. It was also one of the sketchiest things I've ever partaken in. People could have died. People could have died. Yeah, dude, I've already heard of several like super teams. I'm talking about the team from Colorado with the people who are what's that? You guys hear me?
Oh, I am. I was about to say something, but I didn't actually open my mouth. I was trying to be respectful.
No, it's just like there's several super teams. The team from Colorado is a lot of superstar obstacle course racers. I know some superstar CrossFit teams. I know there's a superstar CrossFit team from the UK, superstar CrossFit team from the United States. There's our team. So from what I understand, like this is not like a packaged up deal where we just get to walk away with a win. It's going to be a ton of work. And
no, but I think at the same time though that we should send a little message out to the Colorado super team and the CrossFit super team, and just let them know formally, like publicly, that we're going to put a big old ass whooping on them in front of the whole United Arabits.
We do a promo every Wednesday of the video that is filmed today, so maybe we can make this. Is there any special message you'd like to give to those other teams that are trying to compete in Gov?
Yeah. Basically, figure out whatever their team names are and just say y'all are a bunch of poo heads.
Yeah,
and then just leave it like that with a good, like a really cool, thumbnail of us.
I've literally spent the majority of my career taking out Titans because they just don't have the mental aptitude to basically be able to get to the start to finish without creating their own problems. That's what I'm executing on. I'm such a shark when it comes to getting under people's skin and just making sure that they feel insecure about themselves. So just this conversation right here is probably going to get people shaking in their boots. And they'll be like, well, fuck Hunter, I'm not going to let him do that to me. The fact that you even uttered those words means you're already fucked. Dude, I am under your skin, dude. I'm under your skin, dude. You better nickname your pillow me at nighttime. So when you cry, you're just like, you're just going to be just pretending like that's me hugging you on my shoulder after you lose. It's okay, dude. You can go home now because the money's all mine.
For you boys.
Dude, I remember I was telling somebody this a couple days ago. When I used to go to championships, I would show up and talk to Hobie. I'd be like, hey, man, I just want you to know after I win this race, I'm going to spend all this money on beer and your kids are going to starve. And then I'd smile and walk away. And, we always had a really great relationship. But even though it was authentically a joke, you immediately start thinking, he's like, wow, what an asshole. Are my kids going to starve? Yeah. I'm pretty excited about this. I'm pretty excited. So we can expect to see you. We'll get a lot of good content coming out with you coming around. Is there anything else you want to share with the public before we bounce out of this thing? Because we usually cap it around 60 minutes and we're rolling up on that hour.
I think that's everything. Well, we'll have lots to talk about in a couple weeks when we start training for this thing.
I have a question for Kempson, because it seems like whenever I was out there visiting Hunter at the cabin or at the Malibu, no matter what the sport or event was, he was always the top of the top. Ping pong, we did weightlifting. Was there a time when you guys were living in Durango that no matter what game you guys would do, Kempson always came up top?
Pull-ups.
Oh yeah, dude. For a while, he whooped the shit out of me. I got so weak when I was a vegan. I was so weak.
Yeah, we did. We would do those. We had a pull-up bar. Like one of those cheap-ass pull-up bars that goes in the doorway and hangs like that.
Yeah.
And then we had this really. We didn't have any like real weights or anything, but we had stumps, like big waterlogged stumps with ants crawling out of them that were sitting in our living room, and you had to hold the stump, like squeeze it in between your knees like a Kegel, and then do as many pull-ups as you could. And that was like the only challenge we had.
Yeah, at this point in time, we both had basically the frames of house cats. We were tiny.
I was 149 pounds.
Dude, I was 178, which is crazy because right now I'm 212. So it bothers me to think how slender I was.
Oh.
I look like a tripod if I took my pants off. It was the skinniest thing. on the face of the earth, dude. It was just crazy.
Wait, I'm not sure that went over as you wanted that to go over.
What do you mean? I look like a tripod if I took my pants off? I just basically meant to say my legs are as skinny as my dick.
Oh, that's not what I was kidding.
What did
That's
you guys
not what I
pick
got
up?
out of that either.
I don't know what perverts you guys are kind of getting into, but that's a common thing. Yeah, dude, we were tiny, and I had literally given up everything that was to be a man to be a mud running champion,
I know.
and probably the weakest version of myself. But I will say we were like lightning.
Oh my God. We could fly up mountains like nobody's business.
Yeah. Some of the deadliest training camps I had ever done, like when we were when we would go to Telluride, Matt and I were reminiscing about this the other day. Matt one time literally trained himself so hard that he just stopped the run, ate a donut, and then laid down in a tent for the rest of the day.
No, all right. So we go up to living in Durango. Telluride's like an hour and a half ride. We get up there. All we bought was a tent from Walmart and 2 sleeping bags, and it's like a free campground near the town, like the least bougie version of Telluride you can possibly imagine. And we literally get there. We don't even set up our tent yet. We go straight to the biggest mountain we can find, get on our mountain bikes. I had a single speed mountain bike and ride, I think it was like 4,000 feet from the bottom straight to the top of this mountain. Like literally like out of the saddle, like grinding straight uphill the entire way. And that was like evening 1. And then it just like snowballed after that. It was like run, bike, like whatever we could do. And after like 3 or 4 days of it, I was like, my body shut down. We were in the middle of a mountain bike ride through the woods, and I just stopped. I got off my bike and I sat like in the woods, and I don't give up like a lot or ever, but I just like sat there. I was like, my body's just shutting down. I can't go anymore. So I let Hunter go off ahead, and he was like finishing off we like biked into town. We're supposed to run up this mountain. I was like, fuck this. And I went to a coffee shop. I got a coffee and a donut, and I got on the tram. I sat on the tram, eating my donut, and watched Hunter like checking up the mountain from the tram. Just gave him like a little wave.
It made us who we are today, dude.
I know.
Pump,
It's rugged stuff.
Well, we'll have a couple more camps like this. We're gonna make the most, so be ready. Make sure you got a pack of Advil and some Band-Aids, because we're gonna go hard as fudge when you get out here.
Yeah,
and some Hydro Builder.
Tons
Make sure you're
stuff.
hydrated.
Did you know that I haven't tried any of your supplements?
Dude, I've had this conversation with some people. It's like I busted my ass on building this company. It's almost 2 years old, and almost 0 of my friends have ever bought my product. And they'll just call me like, "How's your company doing?" And I was like, "Have you ever thought about just stepping the fuck up as a friend and just maybe trying it?" They're like, "Hey, you should send me a free one." I was like, "Yeah, I could send you a free one, or you could just be like, hey, you know what? I'm supporting my bud."
Hey, well, at least have I ever asked you for a free supplement?
I think that's even more insulting that you don't even have the guts to ask.
No, it means I have the pride. I have the pride to not ask you, but I also haven't bought it myself. So that's like, you're right. It's not really being a great friend, but at least my pride's intact.
I can't wait until you have a successful business and I do nothing to help it. Nothing.
Fuck.
Like, have you heard about Matt's new company? I'm like, nope, never heard of it.
Who's
now
Matt?
That you bring it up, I'm actually kind of busy. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
You know, actually, like, I'm laughing, but I do feel a very strong amount of guilt. And I'm going to do some thinking, some real soul searching over the next like 3 minutes. It's really going to bother me.
I'll send you the link to purchase.
Okay. All right. No, that actually, seriously, I do want to try. Well, which supplement would you recommend?
This is it right here. Our second supplement doesn't come out for a while. You know, we brand this drink as like a hydration performance drink. It's not like electrolytes only.
So is it like an intra or like a post?
It's technically, it should be like before and during. And obviously, like, you know, we're exercising all hours of the day, so it's not like having a scoop of this. Like, I'm not working out right now and I'm drinking it just because I'm getting my electrolytes up, keeping my taurine levels topped off, and BCA is just another part of it that, you know, one, we're always exercising, recovering muscles.
Yeah.
So for me, dude, I literally am having about 4 scoops of it every single day. And in reality, per serving, it comes out to like $1.75 per serving. So
Mhm.
like even this bottle of Pellegrino cost me like $4.99.
Mhm.
So it's like you're not really getting much out of that in comparison to this. So it's a good deal. And our second product, which I'm testing right now, is a mixture of creatine and citrulline. So that's like a really good, just get strength, get strong, get a solid pump one. So I've been testing all the new flavors, busting my ass over here. But dude, 1.0 iteration is like the best thing on the entire planet. It tastes delicious too.
Mm-hmm.
I will know very soon after I purchase them.
Wow. This is crazy. I have a Shopify account so I can see and I can scan through. Like, hey, that's funny. Matt's name hasn't come through
Well,
yet.
obviously, like I wouldn't buy it under my own name. I would obviously do it under an alias.
Alter ego.
Yeah. So if you see a purchase from Turd Ferguson on there, you probably know who it's from.
I wouldn't be upset if Turd Ferguson bought about like 100 jugs of it because I'd be like, damn, Turd Ferguson is committed to the cause.
Turd
If you
Ferguson
bought
might-
100 tubs, Kempson, you'd be a lifelong customer.
Yeah. We'd give you some like VIP treatment.
Would I get a special jacket?
Yes.
Dude,
we would.
a members only jacket.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right, boys. We've reached the hour mark, and wow, I just got an email about how to buy a builder. Boys, I will catch up with you soon. Matt, start fucking training, dude. We got a lot of people's asses to kick out there. All right, boys. Over and out. We'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. We are on Apple, Spotify, and all your tunes. We'll see you soon.